Hello, dear ones. I am Priyanka, your friend and licensed Heal Your Life workshop leader and life coach. And I'm delighted at the opportunity to talk a little and share from my life and experience a bit about worth, about worthiness, my immense gratitude to my mentor, Louise Hay, to my mentor, dear Babuma, and all other great teachers from whom I have been learning about self worth over the years. This topic is really close to my heart for the singular most important reason. Even after I learned about it, heard about it, did all the affirmations, I still kept operating from my old patterns of thought, belief, and action. And this is one thing that has shown up for me so many times and as often, as frequent as like every day. And when I speak to other people and I have worked with clients also, I often observe that how their unhappiness is often not because of what is happening in their life, but because of what they are thinking about themselves in the process. The same thing applies to me. Recently, I have become more aware of my thoughts and reflecting more on my negative emotion. And I love working with emotions, emotional well being, and regulation. And I will briefly share the reason about it also. So I'm observing that anytime I'm upset or maybe stuck in a loop of thoughts or pondering over a situation, it is not the situation or the problem that really bothers me or even others that I work with. It is what we start to think about ourselves in that moment. This situation must mean this. This situation says this about me. And often these thoughts are so subconscious that we just don't even realize we are thinking about them. And I've realized that at the end of these thoughts, or at least for me, I have often ended up saying, more often in the past, less now, that this must mean that I am not worthy. I am not deserving. Worthiness here as a word, as I'm using it, is our inherent value, our value as who we are being. And this is so difficult in the beginning to even understand. Like for me, I spent all my life thinking that to get something, you have to be something, you have to do something. There has to be a way, a code, something to crack, something to know. And that was because deep inside of myself, I felt lacking of something. I felt unworthy in one word, not good enough. Okay, so let's talk a little from my life. So, when I was very young, I was not emotionally self-expressed, being the second child and born in a family that had its own share of financial struggles and some bit of chaos as well. I became a quiet and silent child, not talking to anybody. And then somehow I just learned that I don't get care and attention because I'm not worthy of it. Something about me is not nice. And in my teenage years, so like many girls face these body image challenges and stuff. So I had a lot of hair on my face, and sometimes I still have some of it. So at that age, I used to feel unworthy of attention of the opposite sex. I learned that women have to be very beautiful, they have to be a certain way, they have to dress up, they have to do this. And I rebelled. I was like, I will not become this sort of woman. But somehow I learned that who I am is unworthy of my parents' love or of anybody else's love. And then my brother used to do better than me in um, academics. I was a very bright child. But somehow I learned that I have no worth if others are not paying attention to me. If others are not valuing me, that must mean I am of no value. And I am of value only when I'm calm, when I'm very patient, and when I'm giving, when I'm taking care of everybody else emotionally, and when I'm not being a burden to my parents, when I'm not adding to their problems. So, this somehow became my worthiness map or blueprint for this life. Added to it some beliefs that I learned uh, from my family because of our early financial things were that I am worthy only when I'm bringing money. I am worthy if I'm skilled. I am worthy if I'm highly educated. Yes, this has been a big one. Bringing in money, being highly educated. And in this life, I did all of it. And I'm very happy to share right now that with trial and error, I have learned that nothing outside can actually help you feel worthy because worthiness was never an outside thing. I have had multiple episodes of mental illness also, and have worked with many people with them, have some friends also. And the struggle there is the same again, I would feel. It is suppression of the self, suppression of the true self, and not feeling that you are worthy as a person. You yourself have any value for existing. So when you are just existing and you do not have external attention, or your work is not going good, or you're not making as much money, you start finding flaws within yourself, and those thoughts start coming up. Why worthiness? I feel that everything begins from within you. So when you start to remember that who you were beyond all of these thoughts, all of these situations, you start subtracting these people from your life whose opinion matters to you. You start going beyond your emotions. You just start to view yourself as the being of love, light, hope, and charity, as the child of the universe. Then you recognize that, yes, how worthy I am. And it can be difficult in the beginning. Most of us, I feel, have also seen our body as something, uh, especially talking about women, that our body's role is to make us feel pretty, to make us feel beautiful. And for men also, they also have different body related beliefs and thoughts. So we just get stuck in this and don't see the wider picture. Something that I have learned from some of my teachers, and that has helped me remember my worthiness, is see, the earth is spinning continuously in perfect place. The sky is there, the air is there, the sun rises every day. And these are proofs that we are worthy. There is enough water on the planet. There are so many beautiful fruits, so many beautiful vegetables, so much of food on this planet. And this abundance must mean that yes, we are worthy of it. That is how we are, we are supplied with all of these endlessly. And numerous times a day, I keep reminding myself, see how worthy you are. You are worthy. You are worthy because of who you are, and nothing in this lifetime can change that except for our own thoughts. The moment I remember that I am a child of the universe, a being of love, kindness, hope, charity, and joy, and when I look back, all of these things were always provided to me. When I have a problem, I get ideas. So, where are these ideas coming from? These ideas are coming from source. These ideas are a gift from source. This must mean I am so worthy. I am so loved. I'm so adored. And so are all of you. So is everybody. Yes, that person or that situation that does not value you may create doubts in your mind, but that is just some situation, some person. One negative remark from our boss in office can make us feel that we are not good enough. But why so? Why so? Because we are not believing in our worthiness. But once you start to remember who you were as a child, the joy, the laughter that you bring in this world, the love that you bring in this world is just how worthy you are, how precious you are. We sometimes spend uh, time looking for validation and feeling sad and doing, replacing this inner fulfillment, worthiness feeling with action. If I do this, if I achieve this, then I will feel good about myself. Then I will feel worthy, that I have some worth, some value. Sometimes it just leaves us feeling emptier because that little bit of what do I say, emotional spike occurs. We feel good and then we feel bad again. So, my invitation to each one of you is to let yourself off the hook for some time and remember your worthiness, which is from within. Okay. One beautiful reflection question that I would like to share is, where in my life or to which person or in which situation do I outsource my sense of self-worth? Second question, what do I choose to believe about my worth today? I also want to share one story now. You can take your time to complete this reflection. So I was working with a client some time back, and I shared this wonderful affirmation that I am worthy just because I exist. Mm, well, it was difficult for the client, and he kept saying, if I want to make more money, I have to put more effort. I have to increase my work hours. I have to be more skilled. I need this. I have to be like that. I have to be this. And I realized this was all resistance being created to not deserve and to not, feel worthy of one's own good, of one's own birthright. Because as Louis Hay also says, it is our birthright to enjoy all the good and all the abundance in the universe. It is all ours. It is for us because we are worthy beings. So, one more thing that I invite you to reflect on is, where am I creating resistance to my good by not feeling worthy of? Thank you so much for tuning in with me. And I hope this could add some bit of value to your life. I love you so much. And I would like to close this with this wonderful affirmation. Just keep your hand on your heart and affirm with me, I am worthy just because I exist. I am worthy of all good in the universe and I accept it now. I am worthy of all the good in the universe. I deserve all the good in the universe and I accept it now. Thank you to all my mentors for this wonderful journey that you have guided me on. Love you all.